guys, welcome to Ride Baby, the Rideshare channel. My name is Serge, and in today's video I would like to ask you guys, what do you guys think? Does it still worth it to put in full-time driving for Uber X or Lyft economy? Do you still think it's worth it? Let me know in the comments section below, and let me give you my personal opinion, what I think on it. Well, here's what I think. I think Uber and Lyft for Uber X, they've been trying for the longest time to see how low can they go when it comes to paying the drivers the money. And with that being said, the expenses are going up. Life is not becoming cheaper. But can you still make money driving for Uber X full-time and for Lyft economy full-time? And short answer is yes. So when it comes to a long answer, I will explain what do I really mean by that. Okay, so let's say you are a driver thinking about perhaps switching from driving on a semi-truck to do maybe something local, because trucking industry is not doing so well, expedite industry is not doing so well, and you're probably thinking like, okay, like what's the next best thing for me to do right now? And maybe you're thinking about, okay, can I really do this for Uber or Lyft full-time, just driving with my fuel economy car, something that's economical? And to that I will say, yes, that still does make sense, even though the wages has really drastically went down. But why do I say the short answer yes? Here's why. Yes, it does not take that much time for you to understand there's really not a lot of money left in this industry. But with that being said, if you got a plan in mind, and that plan needs to be, you need to achieve something, you need to be able to make some money to be able to buy something, achieve something, maybe pay that bill. In that case, it is definitely still worth it. But depending on what you're doing in your life, this may be a temporary solution for you, or maybe this is going to be like a long-term solution for you. And by long-term, I'm talking about like maybe like a year or a couple years you want to, put into this type of work. Maybe you just bought a used car and you think you're going to like put in 5 years. I mean, I don't know, but whatever the plan may be for you, how long you're thinking about driving, okay, you need to have a plan in mind. Like, are you just paying the bills? Are you just doing this to pay your bills and that's it? Well, in that situation, depending on how big your bills are, like let's say you are a single person, it's still going to be plenty of money for you when you're doing this. Now, when I'm talking about like full time, I'm not even talking about like 40 hours, because with 40 hours, you're not going to do that well. And with that being said, I just worked for 8 hours on a Friday, which technically means 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. That is full time. After taking my fuel out, not including any other expenses, you might be wondering like, well, how much money did I make per hour? And that was $12 an hour. Now, is it always going to be $12 an hour? It fluctuates. So if you put in a whole week, okay, the overall number is going to get higher. It's probably going to hover anywhere from $20 to $25 an hour. That is gross. That is gross amount. And then out of that, you're going to need to take your fuel out, and then you're going to really figure out how much money you're making. Since I drive an SUV, and this is still economy class, I'm driving a Range Rover V8 engine. My fuel economy, not the greatest in the world, but not the worst either. It is 16.9 miles per gallon for a 4.4 liter V8, which is even surprising to me. It's like, what? This is kind of cheap, okay? With that being said, it's not a good idea to drive a Range Rover in economy class. Okay, everybody knows that. But if you got an economy car, definitely go for it. But by all means, do not, and I repeat, do not buy a brand new car to do this type of work. Things are changing very quickly, and before you know it, if you do buy that car, first of all, you will get burnt out from doing this. You're not going to really want to do this. You're going to get sick of it, because you will understand what your payments like, you will understand what your depreciation is like, and you're going to be looking at those things and you're going to be saying to yourself, why did I get into this? Like, I already want to get out, but I can't. I got this car paid. Okay, now with that being said, by all means, get yourself a good used car. Okay, pay cash for it. In that case, you're not going to really worry too much about depreciation or the miles. Just drive it till the wheels fall off and collect all that money. When you get in the used car, you still get advantages of writing off all your miles for your taxes. And when tax season comes, keep track of all your miles and write them all off. Now, Uber and Lyft will keep track of miles for you, but only miles that you are with the customer. They're not including the miles you driving on your way to pick up a customer. Now, some of these pickups are going to be like a little bit ridiculous. They want you to, like right now I just canceled one. They want me to go 7 miles to go pick up somebody, drop them off 7 miles, and they're paying only $10. Of course I said no. Well, guess what? Next trip came up, half a mile away, 7-mile delivery. It was paying $7. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to take that. But that has taken me kind of like out of the area, out of the way. So now I'm driving without nobody, and I'm not even making that money. So you're going to see that a lot. So you may say, well, I don't want this because 7 miles deadhead, 7 miles delivery, only $10 to only get a trip that now takes you out of the way. Now you're driving without nothing. I mean, already I could just pull over and I could be here in this area and just wait for the next thing. But I could already tell, for some reason, things are kind of moving along slowly today. And it's 4:50 p.m. on a Saturday. Saturday should be busy. I mean, it will start getting busier, moving forward. But that's not what we're here to talk about. I just wanted to throw that out there so you kind of like know what to expect. You will make between 60 cents and $1 per mile doing this on an average, which is not great, but you get to write off 65.5 cents per mile, which is good. That means whatever miles you drive, you're gonna have like so much write-offs that you're technically not gonna make any money according to the paper. But if you are in a used economy car, you're not taking a hit on that depreciation. You're just putting in the cheapest fuel possible, and your maintenance is going to be fairly cheap because you got a used economy car. So when you write it off, it's going to like be worth it for you. But next thing I want to tell you very quickly is this: what I mean by you having a plan, because most people are just paying their bills. The plan is always for you to be able to get out of that rent situation. Buy yourself a piece of land or a small house with a land somewhere, maybe like in the rural area, because it's gonna be cheaper taxes, so you could have like a better life. Like in my situation, that's why I think that plan is good, because I've done that. I live in a home that's paid off, and I have a commercial zone property, so I'm working from home. Like, I don't really need to do this all the time. But if I had to, I would just get a good used car. If I was single, I would put all my stuff in a storage. Stop renting. Get yourself a P.O. box. Have all your mail be sent there. And just work with your economy car for both Uber and Lyft. Work as much as you can. Use 2 apps at the same time. Just like double app. And when I'm talking about, like, that way it's like right now you see like I'm not getting anything, and of course I'm using my phone to record a video too, but I am available, but there's just nothing coming through. So double lapping means whoever gives you the ride first, you take that one. Of course you'll want to cherry pick and pick the best rides available for you. Another beauty is about having a used car. If for some reason you get deactivated, which that has been happening a lot recently. I was deactivated by Lyft, and then they recently deactivated me for like no reason, and now I'm back driving again. But when they deactivated me, they made me think even more differently. I'm thinking like, okay, now forget about me driving this full time. I'm going to be focusing more on my business, on myself. But if you don't have a business, if you don't have no money for that business, you don't need a property, because maybe you need a property for your business, then it's best put your stuff in a storage, get that used car, drive the hell out of it, excuse my language, and make all the money, write all the miles off. You'll pay little to no taxes while you have that money saved. And then go to the rural area, find yourself a property. If there's nothing listed, I would just say, go door knocking and say, listen, I want to move to this area, blah, blah, blah. And is there anything for sale? Do you know if any families are selling any land over here? I just want to buy myself like a property, so I could put a house on it, or like a mobile home or something. Or maybe there's a mobile home for sale, and then you pick that up, and that's already your little start. And then you decide what's next. Do you now work off that land? Maybe you use it to fix cars or whatever, or you just live a simple life. You just put yourself like a little cabin over there and you just live, because right now housing is like very expensive. Maybe you'll put a storage there, maybe you'll build yourself something. Materials are not that expensive these days. You could just build yourself something small just to be able to heat it. And why do I say cabin? It's just because it's just like one room. You'll have your stove in there, you'll be able to just keep it warm and cook and everything just from that one room. So for me, I bought a small house, 900 square foot house, and it was a manufactured home. Some people could say a trailer, but it's not a trailer. It's an L-shaped. It's just somebody, I guess, got like a manufactured home. They put it on the foundation, and then they did an addition. So that's kind of like how it is. But still, you could say mobile home, you could say whatever. Like, I'm not ashamed. I don't care. Most importantly is I bought that stuff for cash. My taxes are very low. I pay like $400 in taxes every single year, and I like that. So with this, I just want to encourage anybody that wants to get out of this grind. You first got to grind some, then you'll be able to get out of it. And if you stay in the city, by all means do it. I have like nothing against the city. So when you're in the rideshare, when you just buy yourself a used car or whatever, and your next plan could be just getting a better job. So maybe while you're looking for that job, you're doing some Ubering, and that's gonna be fine. That's gonna be fine. And get yourself a new job and then go forward. Because the only reason this actually makes sense, because you could double app. With each app, you could work 12 hours. Basically, you'll just work like a workaholic, non-stop, 80 hours a week. And then, even though you're making very little money, you're spending all your time in the car. Basically, you're sleeping in the car, and you have a storage unit. You'll be able to just have you think in a storage unit, and just basically do it like that. Like, what I would even do is this, and I'm sure a lot of people already done this before. I just do it like nonchalantly. Let's say like I was single, I would just like rent the storage somewhere, maybe like a climate control type of storage where somebody's like heating it up or whatever, and just like park your car like in a parking lot. You go inside of that storage, put yourself a bed in there, and just get in there and then just like sleep inside of the storage unit. Like, okay, I know it sounds like you're being a bum, but hey, sometimes you do something drastic like that, do it for 2-3 years, you could actually save up some money, and then take an opportunity, whether maybe you'll buy some kind of like cheap property, or maybe you'll see the stock market has fallen to a point where now you'll actually make money. And in that situation, by all means, do that. But anyways, like, I don't care. Like, I'm not ashamed. Like, I would do stuff like that, like, if that's what it took. I mean, I slept in my van for 14 years just at truck stops, and I could easily do it in the car. It just depends on what your plan is. My plan was to save up the money to be able to then buy something, and it's mine, it's for cash, and then just be able to just live off the land, whatever it is, whatever that may be. I'm not planting any crops or deal with animals. I got some chickens, which is just producing